win the £1,000 prize.
Why would you want to kiss a chicken on the head?
This week we're in glorious Southend-on-Sea in Essex, where women's breasts are larger than anywhere else in the UK, apparently. And making sure his guests were full to the brim was our first host, estate agent boss Adam Reed. He put on a tequila-fueled evening which left everyone a little bit worse for wear.
Everyone got really drunk. I'm sure everyone will be suffering for it this morning, but maybe a bit of a tactical plan for me.
Well, his plan managed to worm him a respectable but not unbeatable 28. Tonight, it's the turn of nurse and mother hen Andy Todd.
I think my night's going to be very different from everybody else's because my chickens are going to be the star of the show.
Night-night, Livy.
Yeah, that'll make it different. Wednesday's host is Scissorhands Colin Vidgeon, who likes to think he's a cut above the rest.
I think I could win. After tonight, we'll sort of see really sort of like how the competition's going to go. And, yeah, I think everyone will start sort of like up in their game.
Thursday's cook is no-nonsense mum of two, Kerry Tolliday.
I've been training for this day. It's a competition. I'm not here to make friends.
Charming. And offering up the Last Supper is cutthroat meat trader Scott Cooper.
Of course I'm going to win. I'm not here to be second.
So friends aren't on the menu for you either?
None of the guys have annoyed me yet so far, but we've got 4 more days to go yet, and I'm sure someone's going to grind on me.
That's a spirit.
Scott could wind me up a little. Just a few little things he said last night. He sort of often likes a little bit of a row and a little bit of a joke. I think I got Russell Brand the whole evening, and Jesus, and obviously I've heard them 100 times before.
Colin, I adore. He said he would tweak my bob for me. I mean, any man that offers that, you can't turn that down, can you? But I love him because he looks like Jesus.
Kerry seems a little bit off the wall, a little bit, Sam is short of a picnic, to say the least.
First impressions of Colin, typical hairdresser, slightly mincy, but nice chap, but very much a schemer, I think.
Ooh.
Andy. She seems, she plays her cards a little bit close to her chest, I think.
Trust you to notice her chest.
I'm going to make my chicken liver pâté, which is a favourite starter of mine.
Chicken liver?
Poor little Hetty and Olivia, I'd never be able to eat them.
Well, that is a relief. So to start, it's that 70s classic chicken liver pâté with toast.
That's very Harvester, isn't it?
I don't like liver and I don't like pâté.
Toast?
Don't do chicken liver pâtés, that's one thing.
So the 70s aren't in fashion in Essex, for once. Andy melts butter, fries onions and garlic, then adds the chicken livers.
You have to cook the chicken livers for a certain amount of time to a certain heat so that any bacteria in them is killed off.
Nice.
If I'm going to eat something, I want to see what it is, not blended up and put into a bit of pulp.
Bad luck, fella.
Very nice.
She then puts them into individual ramekins before leaving them to set.
I hope the guests will be happy with my starter because it's very tasty.
And very nasty looking. On to her main, beef in beer with a garlic crust.
That sounds good. Something I'd probably cook myself at home.
I can't imagine that an awful lot would go wrong with that because it doesn't look particularly creative.
The beef's going to have to be cooked really well for a long time, or it's going to have to be a fantastic cut of beef. I'm really particular about beef, and it's one of my favourite meats.
Oh, dear. So, to start off the main, she sears the beef. Then grinds some garlic.
I love pestle and mortars, and I collect them, and I've got quite a nice collection now, probably about 12. I think it's quite quirky.
That's one word for it. She fries some onions in the beef juice, adds bay leaves.
If you just tear them slightly, it releases more flavour.
Ooh, top tip. She then makes the sauce by adding flour to the pan with the meat juices.
Getting the crusty bits off the bottom of the pan is great because it adds to the flavour. It's all where the meat juices have caramelised and stuck to the bottom.
Nice! Well, if you want to learn how to make this great dish with or without crusty bits, you can go to the Channel 4 website.
In goes the beer. And it's frothing up nicely.
Crust and froth.
When you slow cook food, it actually has to reach a certain temperature to kill the bacteria in the meat.
Where on earth are you getting your meat from? She layers the beef, onions, bay leaves and gravy into the slow cooker.
Now, there's a few crusty bits on the end of this pan, which look as though they've got lots of flavour in them.
Yeah, burnt flavour. The beef cooks in the slow cooker for 5 hours. Meanwhile, the guests are contemplating what lies in store tonight.
I think the evening's going to be relatively reserved.
I'd like it if she had an ostrich in her garden, but I can't imagine that's something that goes down well in the Essex area.
I think she could surprise us all, maybe, so I don't really know what to expect with this evening.
Expecting this!
A nice little chicken is Livy. What a nice little chicken is she.
Livy chicken.
Are you nice?
Yes, I am.
Aren't you?
I'm bred for one purpose, and that is for eating. Bring it on, get me chopper.
You're Mummy's little chicken, aren't you? Stay away from Scott Petty.
That is a fair point. Last on tonight's retro menu is a ginger and rhubarb trifle.
I absolutely can't stand trifle. I think it's a 1970s reject.
It reminds me of what my nan used to dish us up with kids, with hundreds and thousands of sprinkles on the top. So maybe heavy after the crusty, stewy dinner thing.
Oh, you know about the crust?
I don't do ginger and I don't do rhubarb.
Then you're going to get very hungry, mate. Andy starts by preparing the sponge.
I decided to do this dessert for my party because it's my own creation, and also it's a way of getting people to eat rhubarb, because lots of people don't like rhubarb, and it's quite tasty in this dish.
Yes, but they don't like it. First, she makes the base by mixing together butter, sugar and flour. Then she adds the ginger.
And one of the girls' eggs.
And blends it all together. She places it in a tin and puts it in the oven. She then reduces the rhubarb with some sugar and makes the custard from powder.
For the games tonight, I'm going to do an egg and spoon race. But what I'm going to do with a twist is get people to walk like that with their egg and spoon. One foot in front of the other.
Oh, what a twist! Andy tears up the sponge she made earlier.
Always reminds me of Christmas trifle.
It always reminds me of the 70s. She then adds the rhubarb, custard, whipped cream, 70s pattern optional, and finally a slither of ginger before placing it in the fridge.
Oh, it's lovely to change. I've changed into my caftan. I love this. It's so cool, and I've had it since I was 18. What do you think?
No, it's very you. First to arrive is Butcher Scott.
Hello, Scott. How are you? Nice to see you. There, enjoy.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Then hairdresser Colin.
Hello, Colin. How are you?
Yeah, good. You look lovely.
Thank you. So do you.
Here's estate agent Adam.
Hello, Adam. Come in.
Okay.
Yeah, how are you?
Nice to see you.
And finally, it's ex-copper Kerry.
Hello, darling. How are you? It's nice to see you.
Look at you! Yeah!
You are, darling, how's you?
And Josh Scott.
Nice to see you.
I wonder do all the film stars were in the garden.
You all right?
Cheers.
Again.
Yes, we'll have a good evening.
Thank you.
Yeah,
see
great
you all
evening.
again.
It's lovely to see everyone.
No tequila.
Oh, yeah.
Please, no tequila.
No, you can leave that one safely. When
I've got a strawberry over here, especially.
Coming up, Colin scores for once.
I think being introduced to a chicken would indicate maybe some psychological problem with Andy.
Scott gets personal.
She's got a few little dark secrets, hasn't she?
And everyone gets excited.